we're back for another day. Here to bring you through week 4, we have Mr. Techie.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Thank you very much, Crypto Romeo, for the great introduction. I am joined today by Damilon and Jeff. And of course, a thank you to Markko for the introduction graphics and to BullsEye for putting in all of the little timings on all of the videos. This is the beginning of week 4? Yes, this is the beginning of week 4. So we've just closed week 3. Someone's saying, who's that guy on the top left? No one. He's gone. Welcome everyone to week 4 of the challenge. 3 weeks have closed, and it hasn't been an easy 3 weeks. We've had a little tiny bit of trouble with the coin Bitters Coinus, and we've just been joined by Jerome. Welcome, Jerome. Hi from New Zealand. Sparky Mark's in New Zealand. He's a Kiwi. I never knew that. So we got to start with our tradition. And I already know that we're going to be slightly lower than we were yesterday. 1319.54. If we come here to the daily and we put in 1319.54, again, we have dropped about 3% overall, from yesterday. Overall, we are down 7%, which, considering the way the market has been and the restrictions that we've had in terms of trading, is not that bad, actually, since we are still holding some alts. We still have some ICX, we still have some Walton, which has really kind of been affecting our balance overall. However, there is something that we forgot to do last week. And that is fill in the weekly sheet. So if I come over today, it would have been day 15. Okay, I'm just going to take this number here and we come into the weekly and we go to the end, and essentially that's not right. Why did that copy that? There we go. And we come here, we tell you are always equal to that guy, and simply copy that one over there. And this was week 2, and then here week 3, and essentially we have just closed week 3. Oops, I'm getting confused now. So then we can take this number here, go back to our weekly, and insert it there. These guys here and these guys, these are all dollar values. Okay, and we can bring that one down, and we can check out the percentage as well. So this here is how we're progressing so far. And just to see now, I'm just going to copy this cell and come over here and put it there. Okay. Essentially what this cell is that this cell will go across and check what our latest entry in that field is and do a multiplication on that. So we want this guy. Should have done this off screen, but I know a lot of people aren't happy about doing things off screen, and we still have the plan for the Google Sheets updates, to see what's going on. So we're effectively down 7% from the start. We went up last week almost 10%, and down this previous week almost the same amount that we went up. It's been a little bit tough in the market. There's been a lot of various strange movements by Bitcoin. There's been a lot of uncertainty and a lot of doubt. However, we still have 23.5 weeks, or 23, sorry, we still have 23 weeks for the challenge, and I'm not really concerned. It doesn't worry me that we are down 7%, because I actually know that the kind of action and the kind of activity we're going to see in the market over the next few weeks is going to very easily bring us back up to date with what we should be doing. Starting from next week Monday, I'm going to have a bit more of a schedule fixed to do things for the challenge during the day, so I can prepare things, and then we can get a little bit more structure in. Due to the way the market has been moving, I haven't dedicated too much time towards creating content for the challenge. So there's still the spreadsheet video that we will go through, and we will update, and we will create a whole massive tutorial on everything, as well as automatically pulling in the prices of stuff, via a cool plugin for Google Sheets, automatically calculating percentages, etc. So again, not too concerned about all of that. So this week here, last week we had TA week. Technically the last 2 weeks we had TA week. We had the first week we had one lesson, I believe, and then we had some delays, and then we were covering some stuff, and then it kind of merged into the next week. So what I'm going to do just now, okay, is that we have a lot of things here now that we maybe want to move down. Oops, that did not quite work. So what I'm going to do, guys, is we're going to move this one down one, and we're going to move it down a second one. Okay, so here was TA week. Okay, and today, starting from today and for this week, because it's not that much content, and so it'll be good to fit in at this time because I think it's very relevant. It's not much content, and because we're going to be spending a lot of time looking at the markets, we're going to be starting off with the first of maybe possibly a few Mind Week. Okay, what is Mind Week? Mind Week is where we go through and we look at how you can deal with the way the market has been moving, how you can potentially deal with when you buy into a coin and it goes the wrong way, how to deal with when you get stuck in a position and you see everything else is moving, and essentially just looking at how you can alter or how you can actually change your mindset to be a calmer trader, to not FOMO, to not live in fear, to not have regrets, and essentially, you know, to train yourself up and give you hints and tips on what you can do and what you can't do to be a better trader, essentially, because I'm a strong believer in the fact that the mental state of a trader is very, very important. So we're going to be talking about mind in this week, the state of mind and what you can and cannot do to enhance your trades, essentially. I know that the viewership has dropped off a little bit as well. Across the crypto communities, there have been a lot of people taking a break because it's really tough for a lot of people to sit there day after day looking at the charts, seeing which way things are going. It's been very depressing for some people, unfortunately. I know a lot of people have really suffered recently, you know, with the way that the market has been going. There's been a lot of anxiety as well. And so rightfully, a lot of people are taking a break. And that has resulted in less content, less conversation, less stuff overall. You shouldn't actually have that open. Less stuff, less conversation, less things going on. So we should really start to pick back up soon. We have been trying to do some update sessions for you guys on when Bitcoin is making a major move, like it's kind of deciding to now, you know, just to keep you guys in check, make sure everyone's okay, make sure everybody understands the situation, you know, and that's essentially why we've been doing some more mini streams, even though some of them ended up taking a long time. So welcome everybody. I'm glad that you can join us this evening. If you want to ask a question on YouTube, please precede it with a capital letter Q. Otherwise, if you're on the Discord server, please be sure to tag myself if you want the question out on screen. And then we can get through and we can talk about what is going on and what is happening in the market and what is happening in the world. So if you guys noticed, coming up very quickly, just got to open up the correct tab. We now hold Bitcoin in our account, and people kind of asked me a question of why and what happened. Essentially, this is what happened. I went to sleep last night after our stream, and then we did a voice session after the stream, and I went to sleep, and I had set a buy at just above 10,000. Okay, I had set a buy at just above 10,000 because judging by the way we bounced at 10,200, I was confident that we were going to have a good bounce at 10,000. However, the bounce at 10,000 didn't come. Now, you can see at the bottom of the screen down here, that's my local time. Okay, so I woke up initially around, I think, 10:30. I woke up and I saw that we were around this price here where we went down to 10,070 something. And I saw that we had a bit of a bounce. So I did what a lot of other people did. I put my head back on the pillow and I went back to sleep. And then I kind of woke up again about an hour later, okay, around 12 o'clock, and we were still climbing. And then I stopped looking at the charts, and I was doing my wake up slowly, not really caring about anything. However, in the space of two 15-minute candles, i.e. in the space of half an hour, and in fact, I did have a look at it a little bit earlier on when you come down to the, not quite what I wanted to do there, thank you Bitcoin. If we come back down to the 5-minute chart, there was a little bit of a drop, a little bit more, and then we had a kind of one whole section where we just kind of stabilized, and then a big drop where we broke down through the 10,000 mark. That caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. I was expecting we were going to have a little bit of a retracement, maybe a little bit more of a bounce, and as a result I did not cancel the orders. I was still kind of sleepy, you know, laying in bed, checking the news and checking everything, and so the orders triggered. We had set them up a couple of days ago, and the orders triggered, and we brought in, and there wasn't really a bounce back. Okay, we smashed through 10k like there was no tomorrow. The massive walls just got eaten along the way, and so then we rode it out, and we watched for the rest of the day. Was that the right time? No, we're talking about here, isn't it? There we go. I thought the chart looked odd. We didn't have the bounce back up. Later on, we did go back up a little bit above the point where we bought in, but I wasn't completely certain that we had, you know, whether we'd had a bounce or not. We were live earlier doing the stream, just watching Bitcoin again. This has become a new kind of pastime. You know, I think maybe in the next few years, this might actually become the new bird watching or train spotting. You know, people just sitting there watching Bitcoin charts. A lot of TA was saying we're still going down. There was some TA saying we've reached the bottom. And this here is the channel which I drew yesterday, I believe, and hasn't been adjusted since. And when we kind of bounced off the bottom of the channel here and we came back up, I was a little bit suspicious, not too certain that we're going to go too much lower. And again, you guys can see what Bitcoin has been doing now. Some people did ask why not sell back down here, okay, and try to rebuy later on. We had already bought in, and if we decided to sell down here, okay, or even up here, the difference would have only been a loss of kind of $5 to $15, okay? Wasn't that much of a loss, and so it works out easier mentally as well to remain within BTC since we were already in. Just stay in BTC, ride it out, and see which way it goes. Now, there could have been an opportunity to sell out here, okay, because effectively a lot of TA was coming in saying, no, we are definitely still expecting a drop now. A lot of the guys who were previously saying, that could potentially be the bounce point, turned around and started to say, okay, maybe we are going to go a bit lower. However, I was out most of the evening. This is about 9 p.m. I was out most of the evening and I didn't do any trading, and so we just let Bitcoin go how it went. We are currently down to 9674. And this is good. Bitcoin is finally making a move while we're live, and we can actually analyze it and see how things go. I'm just going to extend this line down a bit so that we have a bit more kind of coverage and we can see how things are going. I haven't really kept up to date, guys, with what is happening in the markets for the last few hours. I believe that general consensus is that we may still potentially go down to, Damilon, is it 9594?
So I've seen a lot of ranges that anywhere between like around 9.2 to 9.4, and like 9.2 is kind of like, if it breaks that, it could really correct down. So
I was actually going to say 9.2 as well.
Yeah, so we could potentially sell our Bitcoin now and try to buy back in a little bit later on. But again, the money or the profit that we'll end up making from that is not really that much. You know, if we're going to short Bitcoin now, which is what it's called when you sell with the intention to buy back in lower, again, we've covered this previously. If we were to short Bitcoin right now, we're not playing with a large amount of money. We have a total of $1,400, which was our starting amount. And if we try to short this now, we may only potentially just get $2 or $3. you know, that we're going to end up saving or we're going to end up making. Even if it's $10, to me personally, I don't think it's actually worth that, you know, selling down at the bottom there and then potentially having to wait for a few hours and then trying to find the bottom to buy back in again. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit kind of a little bit difficult of a decision to make. And I believe the guys in the team, do you guys all want to share your opinion on that matter, to sell or not to sell?
I agree with you.
I would just hold.
Yep, me too.
And Damilon?
You bought at a great price.
I'm still buying, so.
So Damilon is still he's still following his chart from yesterday. Actually, I don't have it open anymore.
It's not that important. I'll say whenever I'm buying something or.
Okay.
I'm
so
just
effectively
buys as it goes down at different stages.
Yep. So Damilon layered in buys on Neo, you know, and he left the layered in buys and he's waiting for them to trigger. So that is the position that we are in right now. Earlier on the stream that we did when we were watching Bitcoin, we mentioned a few times what coins we are looking at buying when we reach the bottom. The coins that we are currently looking at buying are XRP. We are looking at Walton. We are looking at Wabi. We are looking at potentially picking up a little bit of Ion and some Litecoin. It's a long list of coins. And potentially also some Nano or some gas. But this is information from earlier on today. And the way that we're actually going to narrow down the decision and look at the coin and kind of pick which ones we're going to buy is by looking at the coins when we come down to the bottom. And the reason why is because if you start to make a decision from now, a lot can change in the market in the space of even just a few hours, and you've got to reanalyze. So that's our short list of coins. And when it comes closer to the bottom, then we will look at which ones specifically we will buy into and which ones maybe we will delay buying into. Got a question here from Julian on the Discord server saying you showed on this afternoon session resistance walls and support walls in the order book, but could you please explain how we should interpret them and what we can do with this information? So we had a look earlier on the stream here. Exchange, we'll go to basic since that's the most common one that everyone's using. Okay, so I think we may have quickly touched on what the support and resistance in terms of walls are. Basically, if there is a very large order, whether it's on the buy or the sell, it too can be seen as support and resistance. However, it's not so accurate because quite often some of these walls are fake, as in they are put there and then as it gets closer and closer, they are in fact removed. So for example, here we have a 64 Bitcoin wall at 9,600 and right now we're at 9621. Let's move down the decimals so we kind of group the orders a little bit tighter together. And that there could be considered a bit of a wall on Bitcoin. It's not that big. There are bigger walls that have been eaten away. But essentially what it means is that if we don't have the volume, if there aren't enough people selling or buying at this point when we come towards a wall, then it's unlikely that we will break through it. Because in order to get through this wall, if it is a real wall, somebody will need to sell 65 Bitcoin, worth of, 65 Bitcoin in order to take down this wall. And if we don't, then effectively we can't go any lower than that point. So that is what the support and resistance in terms of walls are. You have the exact same thing when you look at the resistance on the sell orders. Unless somebody buys that amount of Bitcoin, then, we're not really going to be going past that point. But again, some of these walls are fake and they are not genuine. I just looked now and I don't see anything big or major at all on the sell side of things. Whereas on the buy, there seems to be some more support. There's larger orders in general. And you can use this, you can interpret this information in different ways. One of the ways you can interpret it is that there is more support than there is resistance okay? And then that could be an indicator that it's more likely that we will go up than we will go down. But again, you can just use this as a general indicator. So you have the support and resistance within the order book, okay? And then of course you also have the support and resistance within your charts, which can be any number of kind of patterns or lines that are drawn there. This dotted line here is, you guys can just ignore that for now. It was just simply from yesterday. Somebody in the chat said this is the point that we're going to reach and then we're going to bounce off of here. Okay, so I just decided just to put it in. Joe Huerta said this price, but as you guys can see here, this line here is effectively a support line, and the one above here is a resistance line. Because we have been traveling down in this channel for quite a while, we did break out at some point. Okay, this top line I'm not so comfortable with anymore because we touched it twice and we haven't touched it in a long time. We did touch it a third time here, but we broke through and we haven't come back to touch it recently. These blue lines here were just kind of, I can't even remember what the blue lines were for, but they were just indicators of various points that we were having throughout the day. So in fact, let's just remove them to clean up everything. This one here was a support line. We had come down, bounced off it a few times, and we finally broke through very recently.
I think you were actually just drawing example base levels when I was explaining yesterday.
Ah, okay. That would explain what that one was then. So at the moment, the only support line that I have on my chart right now is this downtrend line here. And because it's slanted, it doesn't have an actual value. Okay. As you move down the line, the value actually changes. You can watch the value on the right hand side over here. As time moves on, the value decreases. Okay, so this support line is not a fixed number. It is a moving number according to the timeline. And you will find a lot of these types of support lines in various places. However, right now Bitcoin's down to 9,600. We saw there was a bit of support at 6,000. Okay, we could, if you really wanted to, you could come in and put in a line at 9.6 somewhere. Just moving up a bit. Let's find 9.6, approximately there. Okay, so you could technically say then that this line here is a support line, and sometimes it helps if you see a big order to draw it on your chart. Put it in a specific color. I like to put it in this kind of pink color here so that I know then that this is related directly to the order book. And as we get closer and as we come towards it, then I can always go back and quickly check the order book here and just see, is there still a big wall there or has it disappeared? Yes, there is currently combined almost 100 Bitcoin worth of a wall between 9601, 9600. So, you know, when we get closer to the line, I go back and I check, make sure it's still there. And then when I'm looking at the chart, I can see there's a big potential for us to bounce off of here because that's a 100 Bitcoin wall. Let me look at the volume. The volume is increasing right now. And if we do come down to that level, then potentially if the volume does increase a lot, then we may break down through there. However, if the volume is not so much, it is more likely that we will bounce off of that point, go up a little bit and potentially come down and retest it once again. What will happen if we bounce? What will happen if we break through that line? Then we just continue downwards, okay, until we find the next level of resistance, okay? And the resistance as well, guys, there's multiple types of resistance. You have resistance in terms of TA style resistance, you have resistance in terms of walls, and then you also have psychological resistance. So for a lot of people, once it goes below 9.6, a lot of people will start to buy back in. That will effectively push the price back up slightly if there are more buyers than sellers. So again, there's lots of different things that can cause resistance. Crypto Clifford saying, I'm in Ethereum. Would it be advised to sell into BTC? Okay, I think Damilon has answered that. My opinion, if you're already in, then you're in. It's
personally,
unless you're yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Personally, I would say it depends honestly if you're in a profit, but if you're in Ethereum, Ethereum's at a good price right now. I only see it going up from here. I mean, it may go down, and that's just my opinion, of course. But if you're in Ethereum, I would agree with Mr. Techie, and I would just stay in Ethereum.
I mean, we can have a look.
I was commenting specifically on the fact that he was saying, should I sell Ethereum into Bitcoin? And
okay, I didn't realize that. Ah, yes, then definitely don't. I mean, if you guys have a look right now at the Ethereum chart, Ethereum has bounced off the same level now, okay? And it's kind of holding, which is about 789 to 785, okay? It is holding very well at that level. Compared to Bitcoin, which has kind of been getting lower and lower, Ethereum has been holding a lot stronger. And the proof of that is the following chart. This chart here is the price difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin, the ratio between them. And if we had seen it be a perfect level line, then Ethereum would have had the same amount of drop as Bitcoin had. However, we are actually seeing it as an increasing line, okay? And not only just an increasing line, it's getting very, very tight, okay? And very, very close together. And effectively what that tells me is that Ethereum is gaining in regards to its ratio to Bitcoin, i.e. if Bitcoin drops hard, Ethereum is going to drop a little bit softer. If Bitcoin goes up hard, Ethereum should gain with it to a certain degree. So right now, you know, even if you bought at the top over here and you're down to here, it's nothing to worry about. Ethereum is a great coin. It's been proving very, very strong recently, and again, you can see by using the Ethereum to BTC pair that Ethereum is really holding on to its own during this crazy dip, and I wouldn't worry about moving into BTC right now, in my own personal opinion. So guys, if you're on YouTube and you want to ask a question, capital letter Q, please, before your question, so I know it's addressed to me. And if you're on the Discord server, please put a @Mr. Techie, and then we can see if it's, you know, if it's a question addressed to me. Those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the challenge. We are just entering now the beginning of week 4. The markets have not been kind to us yet, but we still have, you know, there's no worries, there's no stresses at all about the challenge. We will reach our target, or as we say on the website, you know, get extremely close to it. And at the end of the day, this is all designed as a learning experience for everybody, for you guys to learn from the team, as well as for us to learn from you as well. This is all structured in a sense as an educational resource, and we make money by learning things, and that's why it's here. If you haven't already checked out the website, it's linked in the video description, gives a good idea of what the project is. We are based on the CoinVX Discord server, which is a large chat community, and on there you can find various chat rooms, etc., as well as the rooms specific to the crypto challenge. It's a great resource for you to go sign up, and you can always get good trading advice, etc. Right.
And that is coin with a K.
K-O-I-N. K-O-I-N-V-X. You'll find the link on the website under how to take part. Be sure as well to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We go live every single day at 7 p.m. EST or 1 a.m. CET if you are in Europe, such as myself. And we also do some mini streams during the day. This is not a signals group. This is not all about signals. This is about the educational side of things. So we will be making trades, and you are invited to watch how we do them, why we do them, and then you can either follow the trades yourself, or you can choose you can take the information and the knowledge and apply it to your own trading strategy. So just got to check the time so that we don't run over with the stream. What is the current outlook for Bitcoin? We are at 9645. We can zoom in a little bit actually, and now that we have this beautiful line here, let's change the thickness slightly just to make it a little bit clearer, so that there is the walls that we have in the buy orders. Now, something very, very important, which is the state of mind. And I know a lot of people have been quite anxious to hear some stuff about what what you can do in order to minimize the impact, the psychological, the emotional impact that trading can have on you, specifically in markets such as this. And one of the biggest things that I've seen come up over and over and over again is when the market goes red and you lose money, how to deal with it. And the second thing is missing out on opportunities. Those two are by far the biggest themes related to psychology that I have seen over the last 2 weeks. Why and who am I to speak about psychology? I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. However, I do have a very, very deep and keen interest into the field of psychology. I am authoring a book related to psychology as well, and I have done a lot of my own research into the mind, the state of the mind, into various techniques of, the emotional side of life, as well as the emotional side of your own self. So there is a member on the server who I am hoping to bring in a little bit later on, and we will be talking about things. For those of you who have heard of meditation but never tried it, we will potentially be doing a meditation session where we talk about meditation and how you can use it to help detach from the various things within the market and get back into a good state of mind in order to be able to trade. I myself, I am and have been for many years, I am a follower of many different techniques of meditation and many different techniques of utilizing the mind to effectively change your perception of a situation to alter how you react to it. So let's start off. And guys, if you have any question at all during this, then please feel free to ask it, no matter what you feel. If you want to know, for example, if everything goes to shit, what's the best thing that I can do? Or, if I'm uncertain about stuff, how should I deal with it? Any of these types of questions, just put them in and I will try to answer them as quick as possible. The first major point that I'm going to address is people missing out. Okay, the missing out on a trade, the missing out on some profit, the missing out factor. Okay, this is by far one of the biggest things that I have seen on the server. People like, oh man, I really should have bought into that thing. Damn, now I missed out on all that profit. Or people saying, man, I really should have sold right at the top there. It's like, shit. I'm sure all of you have seen these types of comments and stuff. People regretting not taking or taking an action or a decision. And one of the best ways to deal with this, okay, is to always think of yourself as you're driving along a road. Okay, and I hope everybody here knows how to drive, or potentially, at least understands the basics of driving, even if you don't have a driving license. But imagine this. Trading is like you're driving along a road, okay? The road is time. As you drive along the road, there are lots of signs and adverts and exits and lots of beautiful things that you could look at and observe. Now, as you go through trading, there will always be opportunities. And these opportunities are like a beautiful scene in the distance if you're into scenery, or it's an amazing advert, okay, if you're into looking at these beautiful adverts, or it's a beautiful house if you're into architecture. Choose something for you that you see, that you like to see along the road. Maybe it's a beautiful sports car, okay? That is what an opportunity is. And buying into a coin, okay, is like stopping to take a look, or diverting your attention away from the road, okay, to take a look at it. If you miss out on that opportunity, it's as if you drove past it. And then people start to regret having not seen it, and they start to look in their mirrors and focus in their mirrors. Oh man, maybe I can just catch a glimpse of it if I look in the mirror. Oh man, I wish I was concentrating. Oh man, I wish I was doing this. And what happens? You effectively start driving down the road slightly blind, because you're focusing in your mirrors. You're focusing on what's behind you. So you fail to see the other opportunities that are in front of you. And the more you miss and the more you start to regret, it's the more you're looking and you're spending time looking in your mirrors until the inevitable happens. If you spend all of your time looking behind you and not spending any time looking in front of you, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to end up crashing, which is the trading equivalent of you burning out. When you come to a point where you can't make a single trade because you're concentrating on all of the previous trades and everything's like, oh man, I missed out on that. I should have done this. I should have done that. Blah, 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 blah. You come to a point where you burn out. And when you burn out, that is when you will bleed money faster than Bitcoin dropping to zero. Okay? So, how can you start to look forward and not concentrate on what's behind? One simple thing. Any opportunity that you miss is just an opportunity that was missed. It is nothing more than that. You didn't lose money. All you did was you missed out on potential profits. There are no guaranteed profits. The charts could say, and the best analysts in the world could say, this coin's going to be going up to 10,000 tomorrow. But there is always another factor that could stop that from happening. And if you had stopped and bought into that coin at that time, there was still a chance that it would have gone down. So, if you didn't buy into that coin and it went up, don't look in your rearview mirror. Just go, okay, great. Somebody made some profit. I'm going to keep my eyes on the road for the next one. Because if I spend time looking in the mirror, I'm going to crash. Easiest thing to do. The next time then you see an opportunity, you can decide, should I get in on that or not? If I don't get in on it, I'm not going to think twice about it. You take your decision, you stick to it, and you move on. For example, we bought in at 10,044. It dropped. Doesn't matter. I bought in. It's fine. Now I just look for the next opportunity. Which alt to buy and where to buy it. I'm not looking back and going, oh man, maybe I should sell. Maybe I should get back in. Maybe I should get back out. Where is Bitcoin going? No, it's like I'm past that. The decision was done. The action was made. Time to keep on looking forward and not in the rearview mirror. Okay? Now, if you buy a coin and it starts to go down. Okay? This is a different scenario. So the first one was missing out on an opportunity. Okay? If you bought into a coin and it started to go down, how can you deal with this? By far, that's a bigger pill to swallow because you're actually losing something. The other one, you just weren't gaining. But losing, that's a tougher pill to swallow. How can you get on with making a loss? Similar rules apply. Okay? If you focus on the loss, you will fail to see the potential profits elsewhere. The more you focus on the negative numbers, the more you look at your charts and you're like, shit, man, this is just going down. Oh my God, it's going down. It's going down. What do I do? Oh shit. Do I sell? No, I should hold. No, wait, what? Is it going to go up? I don't know. You will stress yourself out beyond reasonable doubt. Okay? You will end up creating a significant amount of anxiety and stress for you, and you will fail to see things elsewhere. When you have this fear, it is effectively driving, it's like driving in the thickest of fog. The more you have this stress and anxiety, the thicker the fog is. Okay? So, how can you deal with it? If it's going down, and you see it's going down, and you feel your heart rate is increasing, your stress level is getting higher, your throat is getting drier, your palms are getting sweaty, you take a break. You take a break. Just stop. Just immediately come here, close your tab, you go and you take a break. That's the first thing. Why? The market can turn around in a very short amount of time. If you see big reds, the market has already started to make a move. And if you try to sell when there are big reds already on the screen, you are effectively preparing yourself to have even more stress and everything, because usually after big reds, there's a little bit of a rebound, okay, and things come back up. You can see here on any big red, comes down, bounces back up. Comes down, bounces back up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that is what happens in any market. You always have an up after the down, okay? And sometimes the up is bigger than the down, sometimes the down is bigger than the up. You remain calm. The minute that you start to think about making a trade when there is stress involved is the minute that you panic and you sell. And when you panic and you sell without being calm, without analyzing the situation, that is when you will end up with going back to the first point. You will sell here, and then you will see that it bounced back up, and you'll be like, oh man, I should have sold higher up. I regret selling back down now. So these two issues are very, very tightly intertwined together, okay? If you start to notice over here that you are going down, okay, and everything's starting to go down, the best thing you could do is go and ask someone else for their opinion. If in doubt, ask somebody else, okay? The best piece of advice that I can offer to anyone in trading, in crypto, if at any point you are in doubt, you go and you seek advice from someone else. Don't take an action until you have gotten someone else's opinion on the situation, okay? Because too many times people trade on their own and they will sell here, whereas somebody has seen something that says, nope, we're going to go straight back up.
Techie,
And then yep.
I'd like to add something to that too.
Okay, go ahead.
If you go on like a Discord or something and you ask a question, and a lot of people usually laugh if you make a question as simple as like, hey, should I buy this? Because they hear that all day. But if you are unsure and you say, hey, I want to buy Wabi, should I buy Wabi? If someone says yes, you shouldn't just go and do it. So you should probably ask more reasons why, because a lot of traders, especially newer traders, rely way too much on someone else's word to make a decision. And they make a lot of snap decisions. I don't want to use words like being a sheep or a lemming, but a lot of people are really kind of hoping someone else will show them the way or direct them onto what decisions they want to make. And sometimes the advice you get is wrong. So it's good to talk it out only so that you step away and don't make a gut decision.
Definitely.
And if you're still unsure, if you don't know why, then maybe it's not a good time to buy that. Maybe you should figure out like, hey, look at a chart. Is the price good? Is other people buying? You can ask if other people are buying. Lots of things like that. But we get a lot of that, especially when we have things like signals or announcements, is everyone wants to know when someone else is making a decision so that they can follow that decision. But their decision might be wrong. So the more information you have for yourself, the more confident you can feel. And if you're not confident, it doesn't hurt to take a step back and wait.
Definitely the amazing advice there. And guys, I know there's a lot of experienced traders as well who listen into the streams. If somebody does come and ask, is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? Have a little bit of patience, okay? We all had to start somewhere. Even the most experienced crypto trader had to start somewhere. They didn't know, how to tell a shit coin from a good coin, okay? They had to learn all of this stuff, just as all of us had to learn all of these things, okay? So just have some patience. And if you ask people their opinion, and one person says, yeah, it's amazing, go and buy it, then say to them, thank you. Does anybody else have an opinion? Okay? Try and get as many opinions as possible. And then you come and you research. You just quickly look up any coin. You can come to anywhere, and you could, for example, even on TradingView, which is where we have been using for the stuff, you come onto TradingView and you can come in here and you search for TRX to the dollar or to the Bitcoin, and you choose the exchange that you're on, and you can go there. And instantly then you have quite a few different pieces of technical analysis related to the coin, and you can read through them. Again, these are just people's opinions, but it's good to come here and read through it and go, okay, this is what this guy is saying, this is what this guy is saying, and there's these massive indicators here. Okay, if you're ever in complete doubt, you can just come to this page here. This is just kind of computer generated plus some external things, you know, related to whichever coin you're looking at. And you can say, actually, here it's telling me, you know, I should sell. I look through all the indicators. Wow, everything's almost saying sell, 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 sell. All right, I'm not going to buy into it right now. Okay, but the key thing is, guys, okay, and this is a major thing. Too many people say, hey, should I buy this coin? You need to specify. All right, you need to specify what your position is. For example, hey guys, is such and such coin good as a long-term coin? Or is such and such coin good as a short-term coin? Or, hey guys, I have XYZ. I am currently in profit. Should I sell? Or,
yes,
I have XYZ. I am currently at a loss. Should I sell? And get the opinions on the people. When you just come in and you say, TRX, yes, then people will just answer. You know, if you're not going to put in the effort into your question and clarify your position, none of the answers you're going to receive are going to be valid. Okay?
Yeah, I think that some things that he says that are very important you need to keep in mind is always, you kind of want to always explain your entire position, like he says, because are you going all in? That's an immediate indicator for a response. Am I trading short term? Am I trying to flip it? Am I going long? I already have 80% in it. Should I buy it? All these are already very important pieces of information to help someone come to a good informed decision. So if you're talking about like, should I sell this? Well, where did you buy it? Did you just buy it? Did you buy it, you know, 3 times the price from now? That changes the answer. So try to give a bunch of additional information. Hopefully the person asks you before they give you an answer. But those are things you should always provide if you're asking someone a question like that.
So we were using the analogy earlier on of driving a car. Okay, technical analysis is like your satellite navigation. Okay, it tells you when to turn, when to go, how far till the next you know, roundabout or exit or highway or side street or whatever it is. That is your technical analysis. Okay, now other than technical analysis, you have other people. Okay, and these other people are the other traders, and they are like passengers in your car who have been on the route before. Okay, sometimes the technical analysis, i.e. the satellite navigation, will tell you to continue going straight. Okay, but somebody in the car will be like, hey, we should go left here, it's a little bit shorter. Again, this is then becomes the opinion of a person who may know something more than what the indicators are showing. And it is entirely up to you. Do I follow my satellite navigation, or do I listen to this guy and try and take a shortcut? Now, although they may believe that it's a shortcut, there is potential for you to turn down that road, and then they're like, oh shit, actually, I can't remember which way we're going. It's been a while. And that there is when somebody gives you advice and it didn't quite work out. You know, they maybe misread something. But at the end of the day, you are the person at the wheel. You are the person controlling the pedals, and you are the person with the steering wheel. It is up to you, with as many possible inputs as you can, using the passengers in the car, using the satellite navigation. But at the end of the day, when you come to make the turn, you use your own eyes to determine when to turn the wheel, when to speed up, or when to slow down. And the eyes essentially is you going out and you looking for yourself and you analyzing the things for yourself. Even if you just come, very simple guys, to come tradingview.com, come up to the top, type in any single coin, choose the exchange that you are on, bam. This is like you looking at where precisely to turn. Reading up here is you doing the stuff yourself. So don't focus on your rear view mirror. What has happened has happened. You cannot change the past. And if you focus on the past, you are never in the present. And being present is the most important thing. If you look too far in the future, it's like looking 2 miles down the road. You're not going to realize whether there's a traffic light or a car in front of you or an old lady crossing the road. You got to be in the present. You got to look at the immediate surroundings around you. If something happens, just don't worry. Stop. Move on. If you're finding it extremely difficult to move on from a situation, take a break. Okay? Just really take a break. All of us need to take breaks. Some of the best traders in the world take breaks. Okay, John, Mr. CoinVX, has been on a 3-day break. Okay, because when you start to trade with stress, when you start to trade with regrets, when you start to trade with anxiety and all of these stuff, essentially you are clouding yourself, you are clouding your judgment, and it's like driving through very thick fog. The more and more of looking in the rear view you have, the more regret you have, the more stress you have, the more fog there's going to be around you. And I'm sure any driver can attest to the fact that when there's lots of fog around you, you slow the hell down because you can't see shit. And if you're not careful and you're still looking in your rear view mirror when there's a whole lot of fog around you, you're not going to be able to react in time and you're going to end up crashing. Okay? So I hope then that this has started to clarify some things for all of you guys. This is just the beginning of Mind Week. I hope that some of you found it helpful and and that you found something interesting there that you can potentially try to apply to your situation. We're going to be going a little bit deeper and talking a little bit more about things like this. We may start to do some activities and some sessions, where we can go through this process. If anyone has a question related to some things about this, please feel free to send me a DM on the Discord server. I try to reply to all messages within a certain amount of time. Occasionally I'm out, so if I don't reply within 24 hours, give me a little nudge and I'll help you out. If you are feeling very anxious, if you're feeling very stressed, if you are feeling that everything has gotten out of control and you don't know what to do, I will give you the time. I will sit down with you one-on-one and we can talk through all of this stuff. Okay? But the key thing is, guys, just don't worry. This is temporary. Right now, it's as if the GPS unit came out and said to you, GPS signal lost. That's all it is. Okay? But you still have people in the car with you who know the way. It may take a little bit longer to get there. You may not take the fastest route or the shortest route, but we will all get there. And so long as all of us remain calm in the car, instead of everyone just screaming, oh my God, we're lost, we don't know where we are, what's happening, then we can still get to our destination. Okay, so just remain calm. Don't worry. Don't stress about any of this stuff. Okay, the markets are going to recover. And all we can do right now, while the GPS system is got a bit of a low signal, is that we can stick together, we can talk about things, we can consult with each other, and we can also console each other. Okay, so guys, it's come towards the end of the stream. If anybody has any question right now, just looking right now at Bitcoin, as you guys can see, we put the line at 9,600. And it bounced off of the line. Not really a bounce, but it came down to the line. It tickled the line. Damilon's going to love that. It tickled the line, and then it kind of went back up again. We're going to analyze the situation. We are currently in BTC, and we're going to wait for the bottom in order to try and buy into our alts. Be sure to sign up to the Discord server, guys. It's where all of the announcements happen. It's where we talk about everything. If you don't know how to sign up to the Discord server, there is a link on the website which is linked in the video description. I think maybe we don't have a lot of time to talk about the trades that we did today. Damilon said his audio is out and he can't hear anything. Oh, he's here. Do you want to maybe talk about your trades?
One moment. Come back to me in 1 minute, okay?
Okay. Jeff, I'm not sure whether you had any time to do any trading today. Did you, buddy?
No, not yet, mate. You know, the private thingy.
I can just say on the top of my head, I guess, if no one else has anything.
Yep, and then I'll cover the questions quickly, which have come up in YouTube, and then we'll close the session. So, Damilon, go ahead.
I'm not going to get back into exactly the trading method I used, but you can go look yesterday. So basically, as the price has been dropping today, I've been buying at certain levels that I predetermined. And when I saw some swings, I was watching things like RSI or how the waves were going up and down. There's times where I would buy some or sell some of the NEO that I had purchased lower as it went up a few dollars and then buy it back when it went back down again. So, I mean, it didn't make me a lot of money, but I mean, $5 here, $5 there, it adds up. And I always made sure that I would get my position back because my whole trading strategy here is that I'm collecting as much as I can the entire way that it drops. And always leaving money left over in case worst case scenario happens. It doesn't have to be a lot, but I just don't want to be stuck where, say, if I buy like right at whatever the price is now and it goes down $1,000 Bitcoin, I have no money to buy in. It'd be nice to be able to get some at that level. So I have several layered buys still at several layers below where it is now. And if they all hit, that's great. If they don't all hit, that's great too, because that means the market's recovering. And so I made some purchases, I think, all the way down to around, I think 111 or 113 was my last buy. And I think when I did a flip, I picked up one right below 110, but for NEO. So I've got some at 101, some at 107, and then below that, I have a few more. So, but I wanted to get into a small statement about kind of the mental preparation. So a lot of times when people are going in and making a trade or thinking about how they want to, what they want to buy, they're usually looking at a candle or they've already focused on, I want to buy Tronics. And because someone talked about it. And so they kind of are only looking at the one coin. They don't have a list of coins. I think you should always go in with a plan. And I was talking on Discord with, I believe, KRS or the other day about having the steps you should have when you're going to trading. So you should say, okay, what is my goal here? Do I want to do a quick flip? Do I only want to make a few percent and get out? Do I plan to hold it overnight? Is it going to be a long-term hold? What do I want to accomplish? And then when you make that decision, what do I want to do if the market changes from my plans? So say you buy Bitcoin right now and the market drops and that was your last buy. What is your plan? Are you going to freak out? Are you saying, you know what, I'm going to put a stop loss. I can accept a 5% loss or a 10% loss, but below that I'm selling. And accept that because that was your plan and you thought about it, you planned for it. But then after that, what do you want to do? Are you done? Do you plan to sell it to buy lower? What is your goal for that? So every time you should think about what your plans are, and then nothing should surprise you. It might not go the way you want, but you should be mentally prepared for every outcome that the market can throw at you. And it's not that many decisions. So, what you should just ask, what coins do you want? What will you be happy with? What is your time that you want to hold on to it? And then what do I do based on what the market does? Those are all things to ask yourself, and you can be prepared for when that happens and you won't freak out. And that gets into like the mind part of this where you don't want to be that surprised and let your emotions make you make a rash decision that you'll regret later.
Yep, very, very valid points there, guys. How to make a plan, how to stick to your plan as well is something that we're going to be covering as well. What to do when your plan goes wrong and how you can react and essentially remain calm and take some action to avoid something going wrong. Someone says, Joshua, what do we expect the bottom to be, around 9K or 5K? It's a very good question. The technical analysis so far that has been sent out by a lot of very knowledgeable TA people says that if we are to go below 9.2K, I'm just bringing up the correct screen here. If we are to go below 9.2K, i.e. effectively, wow, almost at the bottom of my channel here. If we go below this point here, then we will go significantly lower than that. Okay. However, there is a large potential for us to bounce anywhere between 9.6 and 9.2, but the majority of people are of the opinion that within, and I'm going to draw a box here just to simplify it a bit, The majority of people are in the opinion that anywhere between 9.4 and 9.2, okay, we could and we should see a good bounce there. A lot of people as well, all the way up to 9.6, that if we bounce in here, then we are done, we are sorted, we can forget about this current downtrend. Not, oh, that's it, everything, we're gonna be back into lots of money. No, not yet. Okay, we're just out of the shit for now. So, what are we gonna do for the challenge, and how are we gonna kind of monitor things and mitigate the possible problems that may happen? We are effectively going to monitor Bitcoin right now. If Bitcoin does go down to below 9.2, then I will analyze the situation at that point in time, and we will see how low it can go, and we may potentially sell BTC with the intention to buy it back lower. However, this is the key thing. If it does go below 9.2, I need to be prepared to be online and watch and wait and see where it goes. There's no point in thinking, okay, yeah, it might go below 9.2, so I'm basically just gonna stay in USDT from now and then wait and see what happens, and you know, we're going down. Nothing is certain. We may not even get below 9.6, we may not get below 9.4, and so just analyze the situation for yourself, ask around again, check out the technical analysis by knowledgeable people. We had Until 1 Mil on the stream very recently. He's on the CoinVX server. You can go there, you can send him a message, you can ask him something, you can tag him in a question, or just ask in the trading room and see people's opinions. Next question that we have is, can you zoom out? I did zoom out. I believe that should have been enough, Justin. Let me know if that's okay for you to see. Linda saying, where do you think ICX is heading? Has it bottomed out yet? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I haven't really followed ICX that much. When we came to buy ICX, we together as a team, we chose several coins, and ICX was put forward by 2 other team members. A lot of coins so far appear to have bottomed out. So if we have a look right now at ICX and how it's been going, it effectively bottomed out in this range here. The same thing as well with Walton. Walton hit a bottom over here, but then it broke down yet again. Okay. EOS, I was looking at another coin earlier. We're running out of time, so I don't want to take too long. A lot of coins have bottomed out, but there is always the possibility for them to go lower. Okay, so you got to understand, you got to appreciate that. However, if you are looking at the longer term, i.e. you are looking at the 1 month time frame, almost every single coin right now is an absolute bargain. Okay, absolute bargain. And so if you're looking at 1 month, you could potentially buy any coin right now. And so long as the market doesn't have an insane crash, you should be in profit in the 1 month period. But for the challenge, because we're trying to maximize the profits in the shorter term, that is why we haven't just bought into coins and just forgotten about them. So that is my opinion on ICX, but I would say go and ask in the server as well. Unless somebody here, Jeff, Damilon, do either of you guys have an opinion on ICX right now?
No, not really. But what I wanted to say is like, don't be too greedy as well. Like the prices now, what Techie said, are really nice. And if you like wait and wait and wait till the prices drop so fast, then maybe Bitcoin goes up, the alts go up, and you miss the opportunity of buying like low coins. So what I suggest is accumulate some coins that you want already, and then keep on accumulating them, till you're comfortable.
Yep. So guys, like if you buy a coin now and it goes down lower, don't be stressed out about it. It just means that you can't sell it so soon for profits. It just means your profits are slightly delayed. That's all it means. Okay? So long as you buy into a good coin, you shouldn't have any stresses or any worries about this stuff. I've seen a lot of people buy into good coins and then go, oh my God, it's gone down. Don't worry, it's okay. All right? So long as you choose a good coin, and always ask on the server as well what people's opinions about coins are. And next week we will be talking about how to choose a good coin. Then don't worry, it just means that effectively your money is tied up slightly for a little bit longer than you initially anticipated, but you can still do some other stuff. And that's a reason why you never go all in on one coin, because having all your funds tied up is effectively then just staring at the charts with no reason at all. Banu saying, yep, go ahead.
Just for example, what you should do as well is like what Techie said before, is look at the history of some coins as well within CoinMarketCap. For example, I don't say that you need to buy this coin, but look for example, to Neblio. Neblio is a coin that has been $64. It's now $13. Like, you see the difference. The all-time high is so high that maybe when the market picks up, it will go back to its all-time high. That's possible. Like, you see the difference and you see how cheap it is.
So
and
many
that's
coins,
with a lot
guys.
of coins.
So many coins are literally, it's like the bargain of the century. Okay, and as Jack Jackal says, if and when we do bounce, the acceleration at that period should be quite strong and quite nice. And if you're going to wait for the bottom, guys, you never know when the bottom's going to come. You could literally decide, the chart is moving sideways. I think I'm going to go and get some lunch at the restaurant, or I think I'm going to go and have a shower, or I think I'm going to go and do this. And you come back and we had the bottom and we bounced back up higher than where you were. Okay, so don't wait too long. Don't hope for the bottom. You could go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and we are up here. Okay, and this stuff does happen. As Kendall says, layer your buys. And we've spoken about layering your buys. You set a bit of a buy here. You put a little bit more down here. You put a little bit more down here. And that's it. Okay?
Yeah, with this kind of market, I'm very strong proponent on that. And leaving money left over.
Definitely. Don't go all in as well. Okay? We went
like
all in.
If you see it bounce on, what is it, 9.2? And it goes up to like 9.3. Don't immediately say 100% buy BTC. Because it could just be a small bounce and continue down, and then what? So
yep, and then you're stuck.
So if you're buying as you go, and maybe you only get half your money, and it starts going up, you still got a bunch near the bottom, and you can buy some as you think it's recovering. And if it goes back down, then you can make a decision. You know what? Maybe I want to sell a little bit to buy lower, or I'm just going to hold and see what happens, or I'm going to buy alts now. But plan ahead.
So guys, we've really kind of gone over the stream time by a bit. I don't see any more questions on the YouTube, and I don't see any questions on the Discord server. Bruce was saying, until 1 mil is of the opinion that if we do another drop on BTC to test 6K bottom while alts are at this sat range, they have a good chance to tank maybe to 2017 sat levels. Yes, if we do break down below 9.2, there is potential that we could see the alts bleeding a little bit more than they have been doing. However, the best, strongest coins will be the ones that we have spoken about previously, that we've brought up many times. There's a lot of amazing coins out there, guys, but during this dip we haven't spoken about them because of the possibility that they're not going to recover so well. And so just ask on the server, get other people's opinions, and just remain calm. If you're going through a stressful time and you have a lot of stress and you're really worried, reach out to someone. I am here. I will give you guys as much time as I possibly can. I do this, every week. I end up spending 2 or 3 hours speaking one-on-one with people to help them, work through a current situation, to realize what happens and to get them focusing on the road ahead instead of on the rear view. So that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Join the Discord server. We're going to keep posting updates there, and when we come to buy back in for the challenge as well, we will put a notification there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and set the alerts as well if you haven't already done so. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It gives a lot of good encouragement to us. If you have any feedback, please leave a message or a comment on the video, or feel free to reach out to me or any other member of the team. And we will catch you guys all tomorrow. And hopefully by then we have a much clearer view of what Bitcoin is doing, where it is going, and hopefully we would have bought back in. That's it for tonight, guys. Banu asking, what are we holding? We currently have some ICX and some Walton. You can scroll back in the video once it's over and you can see what we have in our account. And that is it. So guys, we will catch you all tomorrow at the same time, 7 p.m. EST or 1 a.m. CET, as well as you can catch us on the server. So take care and good night.